Right, so again, I have no idea what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to do Deadpool today, just to break it up from the 2 Moon Knights I did. So as usual, the commission, and because I haven't done any layouts ahead of time, I just basically break it open, just so it's not a big amorphous space. I find if you start drawing in a big area, you're not really considering where everything's going to go, so things can get shoved into one corner. So I break it up into like quadrants there, so I can at least I can push it into some form of a composition. So Deadpool. Let's see. I might do it. Oh. Hey, Declan. Well, I hope it's fun for you at least. Can you see that okay? Oh yeah, that's okay. Sometimes I'm penciling the lights too bright. You can't see. I don't realize it because I'm not looking. Do I like this? It's very weird to be penciling like this in front of people, because I normally prefer to just do this in private, because this is where the most second guessing happens. Oh, yeah, we're Deadpooling today, Declan. There's a out of the 6 commissions I took for C2E2, 4 of them were Moon Knights. That's why last week was Moon Knight and the previous week was Moon Knight. So yeah, I thought I'd do something different. Break it up. So this is supposed to be Deadpool. I'm not sure if I think it's working. Hey Headland, how's it going? And Vandal, how's things? Hi, grand, can't complain. It's busy, but it's not a bad thing. I'm trying to make this second drawing work, and it's not quite. See, you're all supposed to think that this is all very easy for me and that I'm some kind of genius. It's very much it's very much what I want you all to think, but in actual fact, it's difficult. That would be good. That's not good. Oh, I forgot about his yolks as well. It's 90% mental, Vandal says. Well, I don't think I like how this is going at all. Sometimes, sometimes if it's not going well, I find it's instead of trying to save a drawing that's just not going well, it's better to just abandon it and just start all over again rather than trying to go back and fix it and fix it and fix it and fix it. You can just end up spending on it forever. So I'm just going to start all over. Sorry. It's different if I was doing, if I was taking the time to do layouts and stuff, I wouldn't have this issue. I would have this light boxed. But it's also the challenge of doing commission, really. Okay. Take two. Yes. Greetings, Shalvey. May your drawings be illustrious and your stories classic. Well, thank you, Menisk. So far, my story is a failure. We'll see if this is any better. Yeah, I was trying to make my Deadpools a little more ninja-y than superhero-y. Something I noticed when I was drawing Deadpool was that everybody was making him big and bulky and muscular, and to me, if he was like a mercenary, he'd be more, wily, especially if he was using swords and stuff. Be more wily. Yeah, I like this more actually. Yeah, this is going better. See, if I could have just kept going on that last pose, and I'd probably be struggling on it for ages. Just trying to make it work when it was just doomed. There was a good drawing in there somewhere, I just couldn't figure it out today. a lot of people think Deadpool, and I think McGuinness, Joe Mad in the 90s. They do. Well, I mean, that's, you know, that's a classic Deadpool, and but like McGuinness draws like kind of, you know, kind of bulkier characters anyway. It's just his thing. I don't criticize that exactly. It's just I don't know. You're always trying to put your own spin on the character if you can. Yeah, like he's literally called a merc with a mouth, so I was always trying to make him look more wily and murky than kind of, you know, big, beefy. I've not figured out what this is yet. It's looking a bit generic background. I'm trying to think of something more interesting. Thinking this is a shed. It's kind of boring. Declan, are you reading Young's Deadpool run? I know you're talking about being behind in comic reading life. I am not reading it. I just, yeah, I am behind. I was very very pro the book because Nick Klein is a phenomenal artist, as is Scott Hepburn. But yeah, I just haven't had a chance. Was it good? Well, I doubt you're bringing it up just to crap on it. I read the first issue. I did read the first issue, and I quite liked it. I didn't get past that, not yet. Although I hear they're wrapping it up, which is, I guess I am very behind then. What? I'm doing this the wrong way. I should go horizontal, not vertical. Back to that later. Let's see if I can actually do some penciling. If anyone's new here, by the way, feel free to chime in because this gets very boring for me anyway. If it's just me drawing. I like the old bit of chat, so feel free to ask anything away there, and I can chat back while I draw. Not very articulately, at least, because I'm trying to draw, but it gives me something to kind of chew over while I'm working away here. And when I was drawing Deadpool, I tried to. My idea was that he's a think someone described it once as a plaster, or like a fresh wound in a plaster. So because he's all gross underneath this. So I very much think of his costume as like a bag. You know what I mean? Like I draw kind of. I was a lot of cosplayers and I was trying to figure out how to draw him. Because I want to look like he's just like wrapped up in this thing so that no smells escape. Oh, Declan, I love it. It's nice to have something on my list that isn't a continuous storyline, if that makes sense. Or so are they like self-contained one-shot stories? But I know what you mean. Especially with the monthly stuff, it's great. It's great to read an ongoing story, but it is nice to have something. And the same way with graphic novels, really. Sometimes there might be a new series, new Image series, or Vertigo series, and they might be like 60 issues long. And you're like, oh, I just want to read like a one-off. And hit the follow button. The follow button on what? Declan, I'm sad he's leaving, but on to bigger, better things, hopefully. If it's Scotty Young, I'm pretty sure he's moving on to bigger, better things. You can be pretty sure of that. And this might be a long shot, but do you know why a lot of great artists are on comics for only their first 6 or so issues? And the follow button on Twitch is like subscribing on YouTube. I get you. I just don't know why you're saying that to me, or are you saying it to somebody else? I guess maybe I'm confused there. As regards why artists are generally on first 6 issues, yeah, it's generally because of the publishing schedule. So if I was to do a book, 6 issues would probably take me about 8 months. If I'm drawing it as well as I would like to be. And if publishers want to have like it more than 6, if they want it to be like an ongoing, they will. Sorry, my head's all over the place there. They're generally going to plan ahead, and if something's double shipping, then they're going to run out of that lead time even earlier. So they'll. I mean, I personally prefer when the artist stays on, but it can be just the thing that they'll have maybe a bigger guy start the book, and then that bigger guy isn't somebody who can maintain a schedule, like a monthly. Like I wouldn't be able to do a monthly book, like ongoing indefinitely. Just couldn't do it. My time hustling like that is over. But I can do like 8 issues in a year, with covers. So what I would, my thing would be I would just work away on the issues, and then when I'm ahead, start releasing them. But sometimes, it's like companies like Marvel or DC, their publishing schedule is more intense, and stuff has to come out a lot faster, and so they'll have somebody work away on 6, and then maybe when that artist is working on issue 4, they'll have another artist work on the next one. So it's mainly to maintain like a busy publishing schedule. Saying that, I mean, a lot of artists would like to do a regular book and they would like to do more than 6 issues, and but like say a double shipping book, that's just not possible because, you know, or a weekly book, that's not possible. I hope that answers your question. What I got here? Oh, but yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. The lack of consistency bothers me too. If I pick up a book, a lot of the reason is for the artist. So if the artist changes, that bothers me. 6 issues is reasonable to me. But when it's after like 1 issue or 3 issues, that really bloody annoys me. And I do realize I'm the guy who filled in for an artist after issue 1 of Wolverine. So don't worry, I'm aware of my part in this. Yeah, but I wouldn't sign up to a book personally. I mean, and it's no, I'm not going to go at anybody else, but I wouldn't sign up to a book unless I knew I was doing like all the issues that I wanted to. But it's just the thing. I think that's why maybe limited series are my future, because I don't want a main book has to come out. It has to come out every month, and like I said, consistency. Basically, when books change artists like that, they're choosing consistency of release over consistency of artist, and there's a lot of money reasons why they do that, which I understand. But I know what kind of work I prefer to do. No worries, Minsk. I try be honest here, and like yeah, I would never talk about somebody else's business, and also some of this stuff is just, you know, it's kind of businessy stuff people don't tend to ask, but it's no secret. And also, I'm not a company, so you know I could always be wrong, but that's my take on it. Oh, thanks for tweeting about the stream, Jacob. Curious with the pencil and lead type, 0.5 or 0.7. It's 0.5. We can see. Look at the video. Will that focus? Yeah, kind of 0.5. Yeah, it's HB. I was talking to an artist about this the weekend. Actually, I prefer HB because it's not too heavy a lead. It doesn't smudge too much. Like this is starting to smudge a bit now because I'm working on it all over the place. But if it was B, it would be smudgier, and if it was H, it would be less smudgy. But I would be like starting to like scratch into the paper, and especially with a technical pencil, like that gets pretty bad. So this is a fair compromise between them both. Still don't know what this is. It's like a skylight or... It's a thing. What is that? What is it? I'll make it an organic thing because I like drawing organic stuff. That's the problem. I don't want to get a big check going and talking about people. Yeah, me too. Me too. It's more entertaining for me, personally. But so very good of you. Thank you very much. What the hell are his boots like? Oh yeah, they got this thing here. It's mad that you can draw a character over and over and over again and sometimes forget. You're drawing. Oh hey Panja, how's it going? You know, I'm not going to do this thing here because that's very similar to the Batman I did a while ago. So I think what I'll do is this. There we go. Yeah, I don't really use Vandal mentioned blue F-LEDs and blue LEDs. I don't use blue. I was talking to a friend of mine who uses blue, Dave O'Sullivan, who draws analog. He's a mate of mine. I met him at the weekend, and yeah, he says he's using blue. Blue Line, but he used to be an animator, so he used a lot of blue pencil. But I don't have an animation background. I never got into blue pencil. You know, any kind of blue stuff always feels very waxy to me, and it wouldn't be my thing. Okie dokie, I think that's the drawing. I think I'm missing something. Do I wanna... Yeah. I think I need something to go in front of him. Generally with the commission I wouldn't hide the character, but I think I need something here. Right, okay. Let's see. Let me check this first. See, I'm not actually drawing perspective lines, like proper perspective lines. because I like to kind of I like to eyeball them a little. Okay. Okay, so this will go in front of him, and his sword will go in front of this one. I'll make these not break this one. This should get rid of this one. Okay. I'm not one for like crazy complicated backgrounds in commissions. I don't have the time or the interest really, but I do like to try and make sure the background is compositionally works for everything. Oh no, okay. No new comments. Yeah, if there's anybody new here, don't be afraid to say hello. Everyone here is quite nice, except me, of course. I'm awful. But everybody else will be nice. Right, how long that takes? About a half hour to pencil. That's not too bad. To do Marvin Mega. Hey Marvin. This is great. Didn't know you streamed. Love your very nice stuff. Thanks very much, man. Cheers. And yeah, I've been streaming a while now. I was doing it a few months back, and then I stopped, and I started again in January. I've been doing it. Geez, actually, not too bad. I've been doing it nearly every week now. Yeah, I started with that because sometimes I get lost with the count. Right, where's that? Declan, I can't believe this only took you 30 minutes so far. Yeah, I look at you. I've drawn him a good bit. Like I did, for anybody tuned in earlier, I started drawing it and then I hated what I was drawing, so I started again. The drawing of him didn't take too long. It's just trying to figure out how he fit in the piece, basically. Give me a second, just the light is a bit in my face. Okay, so let's see that, can you? Are you at work again, Jacqueline? Dossing, as we'd say here. That's this here, that's his wrist. Well, I need to do some line work actually, rather than brush work, because I forgot with Deadpool, he's there's so much stuff on him. I need to kind of take care of first. Oh, cold and sick, are you alright? It's a headache. Okay. Fair enough. That's very good of you, Jacqueline. Every time I meet somebody who's sick, I'm like, you son of a bitch, I can't get sick. There was a pretty nasty flu going around there for the last while. It took me out of commission for nearly a week. Look, my mother got me sick, so I can't really do much about that. The reason I do lots of line work on Deadpool is just his costume has so many bolts and nicks and stuff. I like to do those in dip pen. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize my face wasn't shut there. Sorry for my hairy face. Hey, Cassie. Declan, so you're not using a little scrap paper to protect it to drawing? I think I used to when I was younger, but nah, I just go for it. I know well enough by now if I'm using the dip pen to just stay away from it for a bit and work around the drawing a little. I also need to start rubbing stuff out as well because it's getting really. I have a lot of lines here that are going to start getting in my way. Oh, hey Ron, how's it going? Yeah, I use I use it as much as I can, to be honest. Um, a dip pen, that is. Ron's asking to say he didn't know I use a dip pen. I'll do it for a lot of the thinner lines. I will use what you call them, the pit pens here and there, but really as a last resort if I can. It's predominantly the brush pen, but Deadpool is just a little bit scratchier. Okay, it's getting a bit messy now. So, Joe, what's the problem is all these feckin' belts. This belt is in my way here, and this belt on his legs in my way, but fuck you, Liefeld. I'm just kidding. Nobody said, nobody shared on Twitter, alright? Quote unquote. Declan Shalvey says Bud Light out. That's all I need. You can sleep my clothes. Cassie is here for my dulcet tones. Thank you very much. I'm told I have a good radio voice. Okay, I might fuck this up. That's okay. Yeah, that's right. Bam. Marvin, I wonder what Deadpool has in those pouches. Oh, sure. God only knows, huh? Mensk. In light of recent discussion, what do you think of the idea behind DC's Black Label in print have 48 pages come every month or so? I think that's savage. I think the more different formats, the better. Well, not the more, but having a being able to read a graphic novel or read a 20-page comic or read a 48-page story, it's all good. I'm quite looking forward to actually, what stories am I looking for? I'm curious about that Miller and Ramita year one. I love Ramita and I love Miller. And I don't know if I need to read another Superman origin story, but I mean, I grew up on their stuff, so I'll buy the hell out of it and see. But I certainly I wish there were kind of more. Something I wish Marvel would do is some standalone, self-contained, maxi series. I really like what the DC did with Mr. Miracle. I thought that's a neat idea. I think they'll do a Martian Manhunter too. I think that stuff is cool because I don't read Martian Manhunter. I'm not interested in reading the monthly book if there is one, but I will get that book because it looks interesting. And I know I can just pick it up. I'm only going to get the 12 issues or whatever it is. I'll probably buy the trade. But if they're just doing 12 issues, I know that they'll be done when they're ready. It'll be quality. It'll be more consistent than say a monthly book. But there's no reason why you can't do both. You can do a monthly book and you can do a 48 pager. And yeah, I'm all for it. Hope that answers your question. Although I would say with the Black Label, I'm not sure. I don't think it's all 48 page issues. I think the different projects have different release schedules. So I think it's Batman Damned is like that, but I think the other books are are different. I'm not sure. It's only really the Den that has come out so far, isn't it? I know White Knight, the trade was Black Label, but the regular series wasn't, so it's hard to judge it by that. Erica. Hey, Erica, how's it going? Thanks for chatting, by the way, everybody, guys. This keeps more fun this way. Jacqueline, Candy Corn, and Pop Rocks. That's what he has in his pockets. Actually, that probably is what he has in his pockets. Yeah, everyone's got some great ideas for what's in the pouches. I'm not drawing it though, but good ideas. Yeah, year one. It's interesting because I haven't read Miller like solo in a while. Because that last Batman series he did was with Azzarello, I think. So I think I gave it a miss. Even though I love me some Andy Kubert, but I think I just haven't read it yet. I haven't gotten around to it. But I am. Just saying. Yeah, year one. I'm like as an idea, it sounds not particularly interesting because I've read so many Superman, Birthright and Superman of all for all seasons, and there's just so many like airy Superman stories. But I'm still gonna get it though. It seemed a little obvious for me, but yeah. Then again, I'm getting it, so the hell do I? Do I know? Gentle Marvin, as someone who glues glitter to my face, often getting a pumpkin in your eye is worse than getting pepper sprayed. Good choice. Glitter in the eye, I wouldn't like that. Yeah. Could do some real damage. But you know what? Good to know, Jacqueline. You never know, that might come in handy if I get to ride them again. Alright, yeah, I think that's it, Minsk. I think they're letting the creators decide the format, which I think is class. That's great. Like, there's not a lot I'd like to do with DC personally, but like that format is. If someone said, "Hey, Declan, you want to do like a Black Label type thing?" Like a thing at Black Label, I'd be like, "Yeah, class." That stuff appeals way more to me than say like a regular monthly. Make sure glitter in the eye is what happened to Gillis. Cassie, that's far too highbrow for me. That needs to be like a nerdy reference. Actually, that's probably pretty nerdy. It needs to be more lowbrow for me to understand. Switch it back now. So I don't switch off back and forth as much, but just with Deadpool with all the stuff on him, I'm forced to. When Scarlet down with the consistent between issues. Yeah, I mean, with the black label stuff, I think it's exactly the point, is that just to keep it all consistent, which is why I'm more interested in that stuff. What was I drawing here? God, I can't believe it. And sorry, it took me a bit longer to start today. I was wrapping up some pages for the current project. I just wanted them to get them to my editor earlier rather than later. And then there was some problems with sound on my computer. But I got here in the end. Marvin, feels like the hero designs are getting less outrageous. Remember reading a lot in the 90s and the suits were done, but now they were bananas. Seems like they're more practical now. Yeah, I know some people are designing costumes that are more cosplay friendly. I think that's what Jamie was doing with the Captain Marvel costume, and when they were doing the Young Avengers stuff. I personally don't aim to do stuff that's easily cosplayed, but there's some really great cosplayers out there who are able to do it anyway. When I was doing the Moon Knight costume, I was deliberately trying to make something that would be hard to cosplay, and then people showed up with amazing Moon Knight costumes. So that was pretty class. But for me, when I'm designing costume, I think some of them are wacky, but some of them are also very kind of pared down, and it's because they're easier to draw. Less stuff on them means, because if I'm drawing Captain America all the time, I don't like. I love Jerome Opeña, but he had this Captain America costume. I'm like, I don't want to draw that. In fact, I had to for Deadpool, so I simplified it down. So for me, it's kind of like doing a costume that's interesting enough to be striking, but like not a laborious. And like, this is a bit of work, but this is fine at the same time because it's enough work for him to look dynamic, even though he's basically a man in a sack. Cassie is the villain from Doctor Strange. Oh, the Mads character. Right, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the movie. I'm afraid. Matrix. I was the one that dressed you as your. Oh, there you go. Oh, what is her name? Mark? One of those. It's Matt or Mark, right? Marvin Women's Journey isn't that hard to cosplay. It's very hard about it. That's not true. This problem with white is really hard, like color to get that's consistent. You can get like a white jacket and white trousers, but they don't look the same, and then the costume looks terrible. And the mask, it's a good drawing, but see, for me, I'm trying to do costumes that are good drawings. I do not do them for cosplay, because I think it's cool if you can, but the drawing is more important. So I drew what I felt was a good drawing, but so as a result, that kind of bag head esque kind of look for Moon Knight's mask, it's hard to get a good version of that, but it's happened. Switch up music. Man in a sack sounds like a lot of superheroes. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna copyright that. Sorry to lose it, Cassie. Pretty sure I told you that. Not saying I didn't like it. I just haven't seen it. Brendan, hey, how was Dublin Comic Con? Dublin Comic Con was grand. It wasn't crazy busy. Um, I it's weird. It's a weird show in that it's very pop culture heavy, but it's not a lot of it's a lot of like comics curious type people. So they're not a lot of hardcore people who are like arguing over whatever movies. It's a lot of like moms and stuff who are like, oh, like my kids like it. I don't really know what it is. So it's kind of nice to talk to like just try to explain what it is and what cool it is or what characters there are. But it wasn't crazy busy. I had a panel with my mortal enemy Stephen Mooney, and that went quite well. I flew by, to be honest, but it was good. Like it's not intense or anything the way that the American shows are. So it's hard to know how shows are going to go. Like I think I brought too much stock. Then I went out afterwards. Essentially, it was an excuse to go to the pub afterwards. When it rains. Hi, when it rains. Welcome to the stream. If this is your first time when it rains, feel free to join the chat or ask a question or. Yeah, I can't whistle. I know I'm trying to pretend to whistle there. Can't do it. Or I might bring over the DVD and a stack of handwritten essays. Okay, I'll do some homework. Marvin. Speaking of tonight, those stairwell fight panels are some of my absolute favorite moments in comics. It was the first Moon Knight I picked up in 15 years, and wow. Thanks, Marvin. Cheers. And everyone is very, 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 very complimentary about that issue specifically, which is great because it's my favorite issue. But yeah, it's embarrassingly, people are embarrassingly kind about that issue. I'm conflicted because I love the compliments, but then I also get a little is this too long? No, it's fine. I get a little what I'm looking for. Sheepish about it. But I really secretly love the compliment. I have to like go, oh no. But yeah, please, yeah, I want the compliment. Alright, sure, I'll check the message yourselves there. This pen has to be cleaned out. Sorry, 1 second. My thing is, I only have 1 more streaming day before I go to C2E2. And after this, I still have 3 more commissions, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I don't really have time to be doing streams for each of them. I'll definitely do one on Monday, but I might just not do streams for the other ones, unfortunately. You know, we'll see. I do like doing these, but I am noticing it's starting to cut into my overall productivity. Although it seems to be more people watching every week, which is nice. Thank you all. Ali Cat, I appreciate these streams. Always nice to hear your perspective. Oh, thanks, Ali. Cheers. Ali Cat, are you actually a person called Ali, and is that like a pun on your name? Because I keep thinking that it is. I keep thinking your name is like Allison or something. I'm not sure. So yeah, enlighten me, because I get confused. Yeah, this is why you need to ask questions, because otherwise I start singing and not whistling. When it rains, are you going to any cons in America this year? I am, yes. I think I can say them all now. I'm going to C2E2 in like just over a week. I'm going to Florida SuperCon in June or July. I have to check my calendar, but you can like Google it or whatever. But yeah, that's during the summer, and then I'll do New York Comic Con at the end of the year. So that's 3 American shows for me, which, you know, is a lot. So it's a lot to travel to the States. So like 3 is kind of the max. I haven't really made it out to the LA side of things. I was hoping to do that this year, but it didn't work out. So hopefully next year. Brendan. Oh, there you go, Brendan. Yeah. So yeah, C2E2, and then yeah, Florida during summer, and New York. I do New York every year. Every year. Oh, Ali Cat. That's exactly. Oh, it's right. So Allison, right? Okay, cool. Because there's a few people here whose names I know, and I'll respond to their name when I see their handle, because handles are weird to me. Like, it's hard to say, hey, when it rains, like, it just seems weird, but it's all I got to go on. Oh, when it rains. Yeah, I'm in New York. All right. So have we met before? So then, when it rains, because I've been there every year for I think 8 years now. Well, actually, no. I've been there every year for maybe 12 years, but I missed 1 year. I think a long time ago. I love going to New York. It's a great show for me because so many of the editors from Marvel are there, and I know them all and work with them, so it's great to see them. And it's also like it's the most convenient one to travel to from Dublin because it's right there on the East Coast. Actually, I'll be going to Chicago, and I forget that it actually takes a good bit longer than New York. So I'm like, oh no, it'll be grand. I've done it before. I wouldn't be watching if it weren't enjoyable, so give yourself credit. Okay, good. I'm glad it's enjoyable. How bad is jet lag from travel to the US? It's not too bad for me, man. Once I get over, I'm grand. It's actually harder coming back because if I get a flight from here around 12 and I land over there around like 3 o'clock, it only really feels the time in the plane is kind of like weird limbo. Um, so it's not too bad. It's coming back that kind of wipes me out a bit more so. Oh, C2E2, Declan. Oh, nice one, Brendan. Cool. Rebecca. Ah. Rebecca, it's only in Boston. Trying to remember. I don't remember. I don't remember any ladies came up to me. There's so few ladies come up to my table. So, I would have thought I'd remember you. So will this be? Oh, so you go to New York every year? Okay. So you're at Boston. You're right. Well, it sounds like you do a good few shows. And I'm going to call her Rebecca now because I feel weird saying when it rains. Okay, I'm going to rub out all the pits on this because it's all a bit much. Right. Marvin, it's just been to the Comic Con in Stockholm and they had the first comic artist last year, but it was mostly about video games and actors. Would love to go to a bigger con. All right. So do you live in Stockholm or? I mean, there's shows all over Europe and stuff, but I don't know about Stockholm. I mean, the pop culture stuff is big. It's big everywhere. I was in India last year, and similarly, it's like pop culture is big. Comics, the more comic specific shows, they struggle more, to be honest. They're the ones I prefer to go to, but they don't have as much support. More festivity type stuff is what I enjoy more. But It's all good. Yeah, I better roll this out. Yeah, Minsk. Everyone's. Yeah, I've heard like that in New York Comic Con is barely about comics, but I don't think that's true. Like, there's so much comics there. I mean, and I hear pros saying this too, but I'm like, there's loads of it. Now, admittedly, it's not the bigger part. The bigger part is all the media stuff upstairs. But if you want comics there, there's loads. There's so many creators like working away in commissions and to talk to and selling books. Like, there's loads of comics there. Ah, forgot to finish off this handle. I'll get to it. Rebecca, did I give you any cookies? I was giving out homemade cookies, aren't I? No, I don't think you did. And now I'm annoyed because I love cookies. So, if you come up to me in New York, Rebecca, we're gonna have strong words for you for your lack of cookies. Bet you gave them to all the big artists, fancy writers, and yeah. I'm just messing. Marvin, last year we got CB Zolski in front of. Oh wow, that's great. Yeah, not too shabby at all. Brendan would agree with that. Declan, New York has a lot more comics than a bunch of shows of lessons and more than others. Yeah, I mean it is a big media show at the end of the day. It is, but if you want comics, I personally feel there's plenty there, and I don't even get. Maybe it's because I don't get a chance to see much of it because I'm busy behind my table. But I know I often feel like I'm missing so much of it. Oh yeah, now. Let's do some washing, shall we? Where's my yolk? There she is. Oh, wait, I have to finish this. There you go. Ed McGuinness and Tyler Kirkman. What have they ever done? Nothing cookie worth, I would argue. Ken Lashley loves the cookies you make. Ken Lashley too? Jeez, Rebecca, read the room. Clearly I am annoyed I didn't get any. Don't tell me all the people who got one. Or some. Speaking of cookies, what cookies or sweets do I like? I have a horrendously large sweet tooth. It's far too large. But Minsk, you're not American, so I can't. Sorry, is it British? I can't remember where you're from. I'm sorry. I like the chocolate over here. Like milk chocolate. The chocolate in the States is putrid, awful garbage that should not even be allowed to be made. It's awful, absolutely awful. And I will die on that hill. It is terrible, 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 terrible. There's things I've had with a bit of chocolate in it, I'm like, oh my god, this is like American awful chocolate. I hate the chocolate in America. Oh, how I hate the chocolate in America. Awful stuff. I hate the chocolate in America, and I therefore hate all Americans because of how terrible their chocolate is. There, I said it. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding with the chocolate. Chocolate's terrible. The Americans are quite nice, though. So yeah, whenever I'm doing Deadpool, I was trying to make him look like he's got a sack in his head. Actually, it informed how I drew Moon Knight too, because I quite liked that effect. But anyway, what do I like though? I like most things really. Don't like dark chocolate. I like fruit pastels. I like those jungle jellies. I don't know if you have them. I quite like those. Don't like mint stuff. Don't like coffee stuff. Anyway, I could talk about this all day. So, Kinder's great. Milka, I've had some. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's really good stuff. Is it an Irish thing to have a sweet tooth? All my Irish family are mad for sugar. You know, maybe it might be actually. No, I'm sure I know America. I'm sure I know Irish people who don't. I haven't really given it much thought, so it's entirely possible. Like I think it might have been because there were because we had so little. We were raised on it. Oh, you're Romanian. Okay, sorry, man. Sorry, forgot. Keep track of you, all you nice people. Yeah, well, from what I understand, American chocolate is terrible because of the different temperature and humidity in the states. That they can't have milk chocolate the way we have it over here because the humidity would all just melt. So there's certain stuff in it to preserve it, but as a result, the taste is horrible. Now I could be wrong about that. I just heard it from a friend, but it would make a lot of sense because the climate changes so much between America. Like you go to one city to another, and it's LA and Minnesota are two very very different types of places. Are we? Oh, double decker. Oh, Rebecca, I love double deckers. They're brilliant. Have you had a double decker? Because I had an American girlfriend and she never heard of them before I introduced her to them. She also hated them, but I'm like, you know what you're talking about. I'll check this folks, but just me when we bond to someone else. Yeah, I imagine so. Brendan, I wish I could see it. My Irish family also has this man's way too. Yeah, I guess we're all like demons for the sugar. Yeah, Houston, I'm sure. I've been to Charlotte. That's like the most. Well, no, I've been to Florida too. Oh, Jesus. No way. Death Alchemist 2. Hey, how's it going, man? Or woman. Which version of Moon Knight do I like drawing the most? It kind of depends. Death Alchemist 2. Depends on my mood, really. It depends what I've drawn. It's honestly whichever one I've drawn the least in a while. So, the suit one is I can just do off the top of my head, no problem. But also it's kind of hard to make a suit look really cool sometimes. I quite like the superhero one because I'll do a very different drawing with the superhero one because the cape just changes the composition instantly. And I like doing the bone costume one because it's just bonkers. So it's probably an unsatisfying answer, to be honest. But it's just whichever one I'm in the mood for. So, for example, I've done a suit one for commissions. I have another one to do, and I have a bone costume one to do. So, because I did a suit one already, and because I did a superhero one already, I wanted to space it out and do like this Deadpool piece. Because if I did 2 suit Moon Knights in a row, I'd probably be like very bored of it. Oh, you've been to the UK a good bit. Oh, okay. Fair enough, Rebecca. Croy Dove. I assume it's Dove. Glad to catch you online. Cool. I'm glad you could catch me. Are you Irish, Croy Dove? I'm assuming by the name you're Irish. Reds 97. It's nice to see some new, I was going to say faces, but new anonymous names for me to mangle. So I'll read that comment in a second. Reds 97. Anyone else work on their own comic art whilst drawing this into Declan? Yeah, is anybody else drawing right now? If so, how? Because I wouldn't be able to do that. What's wrong, Buffy? I'm going to do it. I haven't showed Buffy in a while, so. Yeah. I know you hate it, but it's too cute. Hello. Everyone, this is my cat, Buffy. Hey, check the drawing. What do you think? Say hi. No? Say hello. 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 How's it going? Where are you at? You okay? What's up? Say hello. Hello. You just want food, don't you? It's gonna evil me out for a while, aren't you? Don't look at me like that. She's very surly, aren't you? You're annoyed right now. Well, okay. Off you go. I'll feed you in a bit, okay? Where are we? Declan, I'm actually very hungry now. I had an early lunch and I'm starving. Death Alchemist, think you made the suit look cool. Oh, thanks, Death Metal, or Death Alchemist. Rebecca, I wanted to do ancestry DNA. 75% English, Welsh, 22% Irish and Scottish, and 3% Norway. Well, there's, all of that other stuff is just nonsense, but the Irish bit's fine. Cassie, I would immediately die for Buffy. Yeah, she's a good one. Yep, she's a cute one. Quite a. Oh, okay, Big Bang. So you must be Irish. And she is a good kitty, aren't you? Yeah, she's just staring me out of it. How old is she? She's 11 now, I think. She's 10, 11. I just had to take her to the vet, and they told me, and I'd totally forgotten. Didn't realize how old she was. So she's getting on. Oh, it's good, quite not that it matters if you're Irish or not. It's just so nice to know what percentage of people. Stop squeaking at me, Buffy. I said stop, not continue to. Yeah, it's always good to know what kind of all the different types of people who are watching. Because I try to do this at a time where if you're American, it's late enough that, like, if I did this in the morning in Ireland, then nobody in America would see it, which seems a little silly. See, Buffy just killed the chat. Everyone's just thinking about Buffy now. Oh, tough. She's gone. She's never coming back. Well, she might, but she won't come near me now because as I picked her up, she knows better. And yeah, she's washing her face. So. All right, Rebecca, thanks for popping by. Hope it was fun for you. Changing music here. Buffy's the only reason. I know. Buffy's the main reason anybody comes by here. I know it's not for me. I'm smart enough to realize that. Quite of. I think it's quite. You do it honestly. It's always nice to see your work and for others to see too. Big fan. Have been for a while. Oh, thanks, quite of. It's nice of you to say. Yeah, this stuff is I have started to enjoy doing these streams, I must say, but there somebody got onto me on Twitter today, go, oh, you should try this platform, and I'm like, oh my god, already doing this on Twitch, and I'm already posting, like, I'm posting the live streams up on YouTube afterwards, like, you know, a week later. It's already so much work, and it's hard to justify that when I've got like actual paying proper work to do for Marvel. That I could be further ahead on, if I'm being honest. Tons of fun. Oh, good. I'm glad. Good. I'm glad you had fun. Awesome con. I have never been invited to it. I was in DC last year for some signings, but I'd love to go back. I really enjoyed it. It's really, really beautiful. We need a Buffy drawing streaming day. I could do a thing where I have a second camera looking at her, but that's if she stays in the same place. Because like Buffy is a very photogenic cat, but every time I go to take a photo, and just when I'm about to take the photo, she like looks away. I'm like, son of a. She's mean. She's a tease. You hear jingling in the background. That's her. Okay. This is taking a while. Death Alchemist biggest artistic influences. As a kid, I should just know this all off by heart now. As a kid, Jim Lee, Andy Kubert, and Mark Bagley, and then David Mazzucchelli, and then now in the more last 10 or so years will be artists like J.P. Leon, Goran Parlov, Stuart Ibn. Sorry, not to just blast out an answer like that. I've been asked a few times, so I try to get it out. Otherwise, I'm just humming and hawing all day. Quite of. Guess I owned to kiss her face. She is perfect and good. She is, and I kiss her face often. She's very, very cute. Ran away. Okay. So she's just going to loop her. Fine. Declan, I've been intrigued by these water ink pens. I've been a sucker on doing it the old paintbrush way. No, you're not a sucker at all, Declan. I just found that because I use a Pentel color brush pen anyway, that I just, for lack of a better phrase, dicked around with this pen for a while, and I mean, look, I use it wrong because you're supposed to fill the ink in here with like some kind of color. But what I did that for a while, and what happened was it jammed up the mechanism here. So, I mean, you can even see here the ink is sucked back up into the mechanism, even though I haven't been putting it inside the brush. But it's the Indian ink because it just gathers here and just destroys it. So I actually have selection of inks here. Like, so I have this is the watch I'm using here. So it's just water with some Indian ink mixed in. I have another one here that's a little bit heavier ink, and then just like a clear water one, just to kind of dilute it down when I need to. And I just kind of work like that. It keeps things nice and structured because I'm just basically doing a tone, then I'll build on that tone, and I can mix and mash a little bit without going crazy. Because I find a lot of people who do kind of do grey tones, they tend to just kind of go overboard, and the image starts to become very kind of actually kind of difficult to understand. Or the value work gets very muddy. So there's meowing now, trying to get sympathy. But it's also, the tools aren't necessarily it's not really the tools to do the job, it's how you use them. So like I said, I use these wrong, and my whole career I've managed to make things work even though I'm doing it the wrong way. But yeah, you have to find what works for you, really. Dead Atmos, castings like these last Mazzucchelli is great. Yes, he is. Good up, I've asked this. Which was the most nerve-wracking thing for you to draw, and were you most proud of excluding injection? Well, good thing you excluded injection, because that is what I'm most proud of. Batman was the most nerve-wracking. Moon Knight was really nerve-wracking because it was working with Warren, but it was more working with Warren that was intimidating. Moon Knight, I didn't know the character. If I'm being honest, didn't really give a shit. I just knew that like a lot of great artists had worked on the book, so that was what was intimidating, not the character itself. But working on Batman, I actually froze up when I was getting started. I tried drawing him, and I realized every artist I've ever loved has done like an amazing Batman, and who the hell am I? And God, what the hell am I going to do? And this is just going to look terrible. So I really, really froze up. But someone told me that I should just relax and watch the Batman animated series and just get my head in the zone. And that was good advice, very good advice, because it really, really helped. And then I kind of did like a promo piece to kind of warm myself up, and after that it was fine. But man, was I psyched out for a while. Rebecca, your Twitch stream is just as good as Jim Lee's. Oh wow, really? Thank you. I'm subscribed to his, but I'm never around whenever he is doing it, so I've no idea what his Twitch is actually like. Does he chat away to people while he draws like I do, or? I know he gives stuff away sometimes, and I'm not doing that, by the way. I don't have as much money as Jim Lee, so I'll take what I can get. Well, that's great compliment, though, Rebecca. Thank you. Jim Lee's a hero of mine. Where are we? This Deadpool looks like a real ninja with some goof. That's good. It's good. Good. That's exactly what I'm going for. I always wanted to look more like a ninja than anything else. Because he's got. Also, Bob bugged me. He has 2 swords in his back and he barely ever uses them. So I tried to make sure he was using them. More interesting to me than drawing guns. Honestly, you don't seem like a guy to freeze so natural. Thanks, Squirtle. I mean, you know, I'm only human. So everybody gets to draw Batman, you know. So yeah, I definitely froze, but it worked out okay. Which characters are your favorite, and what one don't get the attention deserved? Oh, sorry. Which characters are your favorite, and what one don't get the attention it deserves? Do you mean out of the ones I've worked on, Marvin? You clarify there for me. Oh, Harry, how's it going, man? Quite of your Deadpool's my favorite. Oh, thank you. Cheers. As I've seen you do one of the nicest things as well. You sat with a kid for ages, giving him pointers and looking at his art. Giving him pointers was pretty epic. Where did you see me do that? Because I would never do something like that. No way. That's probably stealing from him. That's probably like it's probably like trying to like breaking into his mobile phone or trying to chat up his mom. But yeah, no, I would never do something so nice. I can't have nice things getting out about me. I know that's nice to you to say, man. Cheers. I mean, like, I wouldn't be where I was if people didn't help me out and give me advice. So I always, if anybody ever asks, I always make a point of doing it. Harry, big fan of your Deadpool. The good, the bad, and the ugly storyline was like amazing. Thank you very much. I wish I could take full credit for it, but Jerry Duggan wrote a hell of a story. And I didn't even like Deadpool when I started working on it, but his story was so good, he made me like the character. But no, I'm super proud of that. Everyone keeps telling me they're probably going to make a movie of that, which, you know, would be nice. Waffles. Death Alchemist. When did you do the Batman title? Like, what was it called? It was 2 years ago. All Star Batman. It was Scott Snyder and John Romita Jr. were doing the main story, and I was doing the backup story with Scott. So I designed Duke Thomas his costume, and it was like a short story that ran through the first 4 issues. Yep, that was me. Marvel, just any character, which is my favorite. Well, anybody who watches this Marvel will know that Daredevil is my favorite character, and I would kill to do Daredevil someday. That's my my bucket list. And who deserves more attention? I'm not really sure, to be honest. Can't really think right now. Oh, he's somebody with a big bang. Oh, okay. Declan, I do like that about your social media stuff. It's very positive and uplifting to people trying to break into comics. Oh, thanks, Declan. I try. Like I said, I wouldn't be where I am without people being helpful along the way. So I definitely try and like not not just anybody. Like if I see people with promise or anything, I'll definitely try and signal boost them. I definitely tried to reevaluate my social media a while ago because it got a bit ugly last year. Or well, not it. Social media in general did. So I think I came to the conclusion that really you're only going to get out of it what you put in. So there's no point being sarcastic or negative or whatnot. Just try and put out good vibes, and because like there's plenty of people who I know and like online, but I can't stand them on social media, and I don't want to be one of those guys. Plus, it's just nicer, and it's you can actually help people. Then great. How was the Captain Marvel showing? It was good. It was fun. I would say I had a couple of problems with it, like small problems, but like no more so than any other movie. But I quite liked Brie Larson. Samuel Jackson was of course great. Like the cast were great. The villains were great. It was just fun across the board. It was just a lot of fun. But it was nice to go to the actual Irish premiere. But like we don't get that through Marvel. That was through a friend of mine got tickets and brought me along. I think somebody was asking before, like, must get perks, but yeah, we don't get to see the movies for free or anything like that. I managed to see it, the premiere and stuff, but that was not because of Marvel. That was because of a friend of mine. There's my brush here. Harry, Jerry's and our mentors on Kenny X-Force both make me properly enjoy Deadpool. Oh, that's great. Well, I mean, Jerry already knew what he was doing by the time he was doing Uncanny Avengers because he'd been writing Deadpool for years. So, but yeah, Jerry's great. So I have the microphone there. Let me see. say Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider. Yeah, Ghost Rider is underappreciated. I used to really like Ghost Rider when I was a kid. I mean, I liked the newer one, but then again, he's an Avengers, so is he really underappreciated? There's an Agents of Shield, so people know who he is now. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky I got to go see it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going. Oh, I'm so hard done by because Marvel. It's just a little annoying. It'd be nice to be able to see those films, but yeah, I'm not complaining. I got to go see it though. That was pretty sweet. It was on IMAX as well, which I haven't really seen a lot of films on IMAX, so that was pretty sweet. I liked how comic book Marvel was after. Yeah, I like. That's true. I mean, it's kind of crazy that they can do that stuff in films now. You know, really just go for the full comic book stuff. You know, I'm with the generation where we saw it like, the X-Men film was the most ambitious it could possibly be, and what they can do now is just bonkers. Rebecca, I saw Captain Marvel Saturday. It was awesome. Good, brilliant. Congratulations, Rebecca. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Like, but yeah, I just had the ending of it bugged me a little. It's a small thing, but like I was saying, most superhero films in the last act kind of like it's never as strong as the rest of the film. But no, but I did really like it. It took some chances and some turns I wasn't expecting, which is always really great to see, especially with a big Hollywood film like that, where they generally you think they wouldn't take any risks at all. And most people I know who are going to go see it now are really enjoying it, which is great. It's nearly done now. It was 8:30. I'm so hungry. Samuel Jackson was amazing as always. The film, the '90s stuff was great. Yeah, the '90s stuff was really great. Jacqueline, have I been a part of an image title? Do you mean have I done? Do you mean have I done an image book? I'm old enough to remember the disaster was the Spawn movie. Wow, yeah. Alright, okay. To see how much they improved is amazing. It is amazing. It's bonkers how far things have come. Marvin, the only perfect superhero movie is Mystery Men. I have not seen Mystery Men actually. Jacqueline, oh yeah, no, I would never do spoilers. But yeah, if you're asking what image, Jacqueline, yeah, I've actually done a lot of image stuff. I did after Moon Knight with Warren. I did Injection, which is a graphic novel series. So me and Warren have been working on that for the last few years. We took a bit of a break on it recently, but I'm going to be back on it this summer. So there's 3 volumes of it, and I highly recommend it. It's like a weird sci-fi epic, basically. But yeah, and I also wrote a graphic novel that Image published like last year or just the end of the year previous. That was like an Irish. It was a crime graphic novel that was set in Ireland, and I didn't draw that one. I wrote it. A guy called Philip Barrett drew it, and he did a great job. So I'd be surprised if you didn't know about it because I do harp on about it a good bit. just going to tighten this up, but I'm nearly done now. Yes, yes to not view an image book. Yeah, I do. Let me see if I can find out. So, Declan, yeah, so my image book is called Injection, just so you know, and there's 3 volumes of it. This is volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. So yeah, we're 3 volumes in, and there's 2 more to go. And there's also a hardcover of these for 3 volumes in one, and collecting them all in one. They came out a couple of months, 3 months ago. And Savage Town. Okay, I think Savage Town is downstairs. But yeah, I also did a wrote a graphic novel that came out about a year ago. Let me see. What? 1 second. So, just for anyone who's watching, this is a website for the Irish graphic novel that I wrote. Just put it in the chat there if you want to see. So yeah, I wrote that. I didn't draw it because I was drawing Injection at the time. And plus, I also love Phil's work. So yeah, I've actually been in Image for a while, but I just need to take a break on Injection. So I've just been taking some Marvel work for the last year. So I'm looking forward to getting back to Injection. Oh right, sorry. Okay, you knew about it. That's good. The Injection covers look better than they do on the internet. Okay. Just fixing up all these little natty ends here. And then I'm going to go eat something. Actually, I need to block in this bit. And Brendan, one day I'll read Injection. Do it soon, for God's sake, Brendan. How dare you? Evil Squirrel. Oh, hey, Squirrel. If you haven't read Injection, do yourselves a favor and get it now. It's insanely amusing. Thank you very much. That's nice of you to say. It is very, very good, but only because Warren is an amazing writer. There's some nice drawings in it, I guess. Marvel, I'm working my way through Zenith, so I need something to read after that, so definitely Let me get it. Cool, cool. It's actually I haven't read on it. I have to admit. Well, I can hardly criticize you guys for not getting to injection when I already admitted there's plenty of comics I haven't gotten to yet. Kraitov is a good few years worth of certain titles long. Alright, gotcha. Marvin, looking for me at work 15 minutes from a comic book shop. I'm looking for my wallet though. I admire your sacrifice, Marvin. Brendan, well, I'll see if I can get them in before C2E2 so we can report to complete the homework assignment. Good on you, Brendan. Good. So you're a good student. Next stream will be a pop-up quiz about injection. Anyone who doesn't know the answers gets it banned for life. Yeah. So that's a good idea. Declan, lucky 1.5 hours of coming, so I have to order in a ton. Yeah, I'm quite lucky. When I was growing up, I didn't live anywhere near a comic shop, so I could only really get comics like twice a year. But thankfully, I actually just live down the road from one now. But so it's not getting them isn't the problem. It's when I get them, getting a chance to read them. I just read the new Guardians of the Galaxy book, and it's quite good. Like issue 2 just came out. But yeah, I have like X-Force to catch up on and lots of other ones. Lewis and a comic store. Yeah, and it's same with me, man. 10 minutes. So it's great to have such easy access to a comic shop bookshop for the first time in my life. Well, actually, that's not true. I lived in Scotland. I lived underneath a comic shop. That was pretty handy. But I had a studio in the basement, so I just go upstairs and read them on the sly. Guys, I think this is done. I think this one's finished. So what I'll do, I'll just take my dip pen and just do a little bit of... Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider is great. Actually, I have a cover to do with Cosmic Ghost Rider on it, and I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I should really work on that tonight. I'm just doing a couple of nicks on his costume because, again, I like the idea that he's always wearing this one costume, so it just gets like, tattered over time. Oh, Ryan, it's yeah, Jacqueline, it's what's it called? It's Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel Universe, that miniseries. I know Nate Stockman's drawing the issue. It's issue 3, but yeah, I have to start working on it soon. It's basically Cosmic Ghost Rider versus the X-Men, so that'll be fun. I have another variant to do. What's the other one I have to do? Oh, the Carnage. Yeah, the Carnage one I have to do as well. Okay. Okay, guys, I think I'm done. So, how long was that? It started at 6:30. That's 2 hours. Eesh. Okay. Let me just make sure I answer everybody. Cool looking temple. Thanks, Troy Duff. Marvin, Mr. Marigold. Yeah. I think. I'm just making my hair in frame there. Oh wait. Okay. Small thing. Little reflection on the little metal bits here. Okay. Now we're done. Oh, thanks, Ron. You've been here the whole time. Oh, thanks for not bullying me. um, yeah, cheers, man. Thanks. Nice to know you were watching. I will go eat. Thank you. Thanks, Declan. I'll tell Buffy sort of bye. Cheers, Brendan, Cassie. I will give Buffy a kiss. Yeah, thanks a million, guys. Cheers for keeping me company. I'd probably go a little bit mad without it. So, yeah, I will definitely be back next week, next Monday. I might squeeze a couple of streams in the meantime, but I can't promise. Maybe one, maybe two more in the next week. But it depends. Yeah, I need to take a proper look at what work I have. So, thanks a million for everyone who tuned in and asked a question and kept me company. So, yeah, I'll catch you next week. See ya.